So, Coach, how are you in Spain after a long season in the bubble and stuff? How are you doing? How are you? I know you were on a break the other week, so.
Yes, always that you spend time with the family and friends is okay, you know, is a good moment. And yes, last week I was in Canary Island in Las Palmas. Yes, resting. But it's true that now, when I thought, okay, this pre-season will be calm, quiet, blah blah blah. Now, after Sujay Sharma's departure, now we have again not a lot, but things to do. Yes.
So, Coach, looking at last season, can you talk about the whole season? Because it seemed you had a real strong finish to the season before. You picked up from where you left off. It looked for a long time that at least I thought, and I looked like you were going to finish top of the league as well. We can talk about the COVID problems that happened in the middle of the season and the fixture rearrangement. But talking about the final, against Kerala Blasters, a stadium that looked from, at least from the outside, that it was largely Kerala Blasters fans only. Hyderabad fans were less. Weathering that storm and winning with in the penalty shootout and a crazy goal as well. How was the whole experience of that?
Was amazing because I think that okay, now I will speak about the final, but I think that the championship for Hyderabad FC was during the regular season, more or less we played more or less okay. I think that we never will know what had happened if we can play against Jamshedpur with all the entire team. I know that COVID practically entered in every team, but in the moment that who entered in our team was the worst moment, because was in the last 4 games of the regular season. We knew that if we win the game against Jamshedpur, we had a lot of possibilities to win the Shield. But unfortunately for us, in that moment, we couldn't play with, you know, eight players with COVID plus 3 injured players. We had 11 players not available for that game, and finally we lost very clearly 3-0, 3-0. And I told in that moment, no, I congratulate Jamshedpur. I'm happy for Owen Coyle because I have a fantastic relationship with him, and they deserve to win the Shield. The only thing is that we don't know if we can play this game with the complete team. Now maybe we would be speaking about that maybe we are the champions, no? But okay, and if I compare with the playoff, I think in the playoff we had very good luck. I think that in the semifinals we play with, in my opinion, with a stronger team in the league, as is ATK. And first leg we won 3-1 only with three shoots on target. But more or less we played more or less okay. But in the second leg they deserve to win very clear the game, and I think the performance of Katimani in that game saved the team. That yes, we played with order in defense, but practically we didn't arrive to the goal to the ATK's goal. And in this game, I think that we had a lucky team. In the final, it's true, no, that you told now, no, is about the goal of Sahil Tabora, because it's in the minute 88. Tabora is not a player who scores a lot of goals. It's true that he has a good shoot, but in the minute 88 and after to win the penalties with the performance of Katimani, that he saved three, in fact, four penalties, because he saved the penalty of Nishu twice. But I think that more or less we can say that in the final the score was fair. The only thing is that we score our goal in the 87 and with a incredible shoot. But I think that we deserve the draw was fair, and even in the 30 minutes of extra time, I think that we finished better than Kerala in the final. And after, people say no, the penalties are a lottery. I'm not agree. It's more about mentality, about don't change your style of when you shoot a penalty, but now you are playing in front of the crowd. Is not the same that in the training sessions. Then you can you have to try to shoot the penalty with your style, not with the it's not the try that the situation don't surpass you. No?
So you mentioned succinctly what happened in the season. I just wanted to ask about the COVID time, because as a spectator, when I was watching it, or as a reporter, when I was watching it, during that time, games were getting called off. A lot of them last minute. I know stories of teams and stuff who were in the team bus waiting to go before they were cancelled. So how difficult was that time to deal with as a coach in a bubble? And at the same time, I sort of lost a little bit of interest because it didn't seem very fair to me. Although you can say everybody's having COVID and injuries and all of those, but it felt a little uh, jittery at that time.
Was very hard when my friends or even family or even in interviews that now in Spain, when they ask me about this, I said that is one of the hardest moments in my career, because okay, we are the champions. We are very, very happy. It was incredible to win with these guys, because the team is and the group is incredible. But it was very hard because okay, because this was my second season in ISL. In the first season, COVID didn't enter during the competition. COVID was before, and especially after that was a very strong wave. But in this case, the COVID entered in the middle of the competition. Then, first of all, they canceled some games because some teams they had players with COVID, but these guys then spread very, very fast, and other players from another teams, and then finally all the teams. I recognize for ISL was a very difficult decision, if we have to continue to keep playing, if we have to stop the competition, if we have to wait 2 weeks like in I-League. I think that the former season, it was a very difficult decision. Even I spoke with Martin Bain about this, and it was a very difficult decision. But about your question, mentally was very hard, because when the COVID entered in the middle of the competition, it's not only that you have to be in your hotel, because our hotel was very close to the beach. Maybe in 2 minutes we arrived to the beach, but then they forbid. How is forbidden? Was forbidden in that moment to to go to the beach, was forbidden to go out of the room. You had to be inside the room, and the hotel staff, they brought you the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, and was okay. And then after test, okay, you are negative, okay, you can go for the training session. Positive, okay, you have to stay in the room. Was very hard, was very hard, even with Zoom meetings with the players, Zoom meetings with the staff, and and we were in maybe they were 10 meters behind my door, no, the door of my room. But I think that was very hard mentally. Even ISL, they put two people, two psychologists for the teams, no? But even I think that we had one player, no, Edu Garcia, that he had to leave the team, because it was very hard for him, because his wife was pregnant in Spain, and finally he left the team, no, because after 12-13 days of COVID, every day positive and positive and positive and positive, mentally was very hard for him, but for all the club, no, not only the squad. We were 48 between staff, players, everything, 48 people, and 29 they had COVID in one moment.
So when you look at the team, so earlier, before the teams, the league and all started, you're looking at how you've gone about in the transfer business and all. It's you bought Yulan so much, like he brings so much to the team, because we've seen him here for 5 years in ISL already. Ogbeche, another guy who always lifts the team to the next level. I did ask in the early parts, Aridane and Ogbeche, and you obviously said they were different players and stuff. Then you had great performances from the goalkeeper Kattimani, who got a national team call up in the camp, at least for his performance. And all the players that you've developed last year also continue to improve. So how would you look at this year that you've done? And you bought Casa Kamara at the right time also for that. It's a great signing as well, although probably would have preferred to play a lot more games. So how do you look at the whole season, the way you went with your the transfer move dealings and the performances that these guys have put up, and how much they improved the team?
I think that people are little confused about our team. We played, at least with me, because in my 2 seasons in Hyderabad, I think both seasons were very different. Of course, more or less, we try to keep the style of the team, but if you compare both seasons, I think that we play better football. Not better, because better finally, if you win the championship, this is the best. But I think that in the first season, we have a lot of possession with the ball. We play more combinative football, and we had the problem of the foreigners. Franz Andaza was injured from minute 1. In the second game against Bengaluru, Luis Sastre and Joel Chianese were injured in the first half. Long injuries for more than 1 month and a half. In a short competition, we only had 6 foreigners, not 7. We only had 6. In that moment, we could have 7. Then, in that moment, we had only 3. But I say always that was a very good luck for us. That was 1 in every line. We had Odey as a center back, Joao Victor as a midfielder, and Aridane forward. And in that moment, yes, the Indian guys they play incredible for me. They were very brave. They showed a lot of personality. They play without any fear. And of course, it's Ashish, Sana, Akash, Hitesh, Yasir, all these kind of players. They play very, very, very good season in the first season. But with the, of course, Odey, Joao and Aridane, they help them a lot. Especially, I think that Aridane is incredible in and off the pitch. Odey too, a fantastic professional. And Joao, we know how important is in our team. But in the second season, that we won the playoffs. I think that the role of the foreigners in the pitch was better than in the first season, but for the youngsters was a difficult season. It's obviously Bart scored 18 goals, but Javi Siberio, he played half minutes than Bart, but he scores 7 goals, very, very important, some of them. Joao played a fantastic season. Joel played very good too. For Juanan is always, you know that Juanan always is on 8, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8 in every game. And I agree with you that Camara was a very good substitute for when Edu left the team. Then I think that the foreigners in general, they were the best group in terms of very good performance in the championship. But for some players, for some young players, Indian players, was a difficult season. Yasir was injured in the game number 3. He long injury. Then when he came back, injury again in hamstring. After COVID, the only complete games that he could play was the 3 last games, the semifinals and the final, and it's difficult after this kind of season. Hali was injured in the first game, Hali Narsari, in the first game in the minute 4, and he only could play the last game in the regular season, some minutes because he was not 100% in this kind of things. Hitesh was very good in the first game, injured, and after he was not in his best moment in the last games. Was difficult. Even Ashish had injuries. Akash, that he played all the minutes in the first season, he had with COVID too. I think Sana played better in the first season than in second season. He knows, but for me is the best Indian centre back especially with the ball, and was not easy for them. No, there is this sentence, no, that okay, to arrive is more or less easy, but the most difficult thing is to keep. Then I think, in my opinion, all these players will play better in the next season. And of course, one player who played very good will be very good player, but with ups and downs. For me, is Rohit Danu. Is a player with a great future, and I think if nothing happens, I think that will be a player for the national team during some years.
Yes, now you just mentioned it. You're sort of running out of time also a little. Next season, how are you looking at it? So I'm going to ask you like the full rounded question here. Getting back in front of the fans, 2 years you've never been in a packed stadium other than that one time. So how are you looking at the home and away season, the difficulties that it will bring? Is there any transfer players that you're looking at? Not names, but generally the direction that you're looking at. And how are you looking forward to that?
We know that will be a very difficult season for different reasons. One is because, at least when when I started ISL 7 and ISL 8, the 11 teams, every team say we can win the ISL practically. It's a competition where the last team can beat the first team. We had a lot of examples. Even East Bengal, they drew a lot of games against big teams. But this is one of the reasons. Another reason is we are the champions now. And when you play against the champion, more or less, if you look the history of ISL, not always, of course, not always, but for example, Goa won regular season. Next year was not good. Chennai the same. This season, Mumbai, who won the championship, okay, now very good Champions League, but in the regular season they finished 5th out of the playoff, out of the top 4. It's not easy. It's not easy. But of course that we will try to, if it's possible, to repeat, but at least to continue with the line who the club is marking is correct, who with the line, who, you understand me, with the line that the club wants, no?
Yeah.
And I think that when the things are working in a good way, the best thing is don't touch too much don't change too much the things, no? Then we will try to keep players. Of course, that big teams, unfortunately for us, signed some of our important players, but for sure that we will play with 11 players every game, and then we will be very competitive for sure. And about your question about the fans, this is fantastic. In every interview, I say that the football is for the fans. Is when you are playing without people in the stands and you are listening. Even you have problems with the other bench because you are listening everything about. I had some problems with coaches that I have a fantastic relationship. I have very good relationship with them, but you are listening some things even from my bench. Not it's not only the other bench. In some moments of the game, because you are nervous or you want to motivate your player, and you maybe you say some things that they are not correct words. And in the final was fantastic because, for example, speaking with Ivan Bukumanovic, I didn't hear his bench in all the game because the fans were shouting. Okay, most of them were from Kerala, but if you when the game was in that moment, I looked the stands and all the people were with yellow t-shirt. Then I don't know if they were from Kerala or from Hyderabad, no? But of course we know that Kerala is the team with more fans in India, and in our case we are trying that Hyderabad is recovering I don't know, in the 50s or 60s they had a very good team, no? Hyderabad Police.
Yeah.
Then I think that we are still growing and trying that the football come back to Hyderabad.
Yes, you're right. Hyderabad has a great history. Some great players also who's come from that neck of the woods. So when Hyderabad actually moved to, when this club was formed in Hyderabad, that's something that we always thought. They picked a place where football is a little dormant. If they can have success, maybe they can lift the whole city again. And you seem to be delivering the success also. So
Yeah,
good.
A lot of work, because it's not the same Goa that you have the Goa Pro League. It's not the same Kerala that you have the Kerala League. Even in Bangalore, you have a lot of tournaments. Even in Northeast, you know that there are a lot of players from Northeast, from every state, from Sikkim, from Mizoram, from Manipur, from Assam. A lot of players from Meghalaya. But in Hyderabad is in the middle. No, you have the cricket team. And now it's very difficult. Now there is this team in second division, no? It's Sredini, but I think that one state like Telangana, I think that we need the development has to be more than fast, with quality, no? Because it's an area that when the club started to the trials for the academy, then in that moment COVID arrived and we have to stop our trials, and then okay, 1 or 2 years more, and this takes time. It's not okay, let's see, and okay, now we have a lot of players. We want to have players from Hyderabad in the first team, but we don't have in this moment, because nobody plays football, or nobody, or not too much people play football in Hyderabad.
So, okay, I think we are actually running out of time. So, Coach, I just very quickly, I have around 2 minutes left. The development league is happening right now. Are you keeping, or rather happened? So, are you keeping an eye on them? Anybody interesting?
Sorry, how is
development
the
league from the reserve league?
Yes.
From the team, have you checked anybody interesting? Can we expect some promotions?
Yes. I watch every game about our team. I watch the 7 games. Now, before your interview, I was speaking with one of them, with one player, Mark Zotampuya, that he played with us some minutes with the first team. I think that we have some players with a very good future, and they will be with the first team next season.
So thank you so much, Coach, for your time. Hopefully, the next time we speak, we can speak it face to face and have a more interesting thing. Yeah.
Okay. And sorry for my English, because
your English is actually good. I don't know why you.
No, I need to improve more. I need to improve. Yes.
But I am still learning Spanish, so gracias para tu interview. Es muy feliz. Yes.
Muchas gracias. Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you. Thank you.